Happy Healthy Healing Day. Happy Healthy Wealthy Healing Day. We got to put the wealth formula in there. I'm Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, and I want to welcome you to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. On today, we're going to be talking about a few things that all have to do with money. The problem, the solution, the strategy, yes, and the accomplishment, right? So when we talk about money, what are we really talking about? Well, I really have to date today's show because it is October 30th, 2018. And if you are not aware, the financial markets are in meltdown, okay? So why are we talking about that? Because healthy finances is the mindset that we must absolutely embrace. We must embrace this responsibility, right? Your own, my own responsibility for our own family's financial health. So as a natural healer for 45 years, it's been really frustrating trying to put together how all this happens and realizing that it really is a context of oneness, healthy spirit, mind, body, family, finance, community, character, relationships, parenting, all of those. There are 13 domains that we really have to get spiritually fit in, right? So that's one of my mentors is talking to me, teaching me, and we're having this conversation about spiritual fitness and how really we're trying to fit things into our spirituality into our life, when the fact of the matter is we're spiritual beings, right? Having a physical material experience, and everything is in our spirit. So if we're not getting the results that we want to have, we have to address it, right? As a spiritual being. So healthy finances. We want a healthy body. We want a healthy mind, right? So we have to have this conversation. You choose to participate in this conversation about healthy finances now. Now, let me just say this. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of you who are following me on my Facebook page. And you can go there at Healthy Finances Now, at Healthy Finances Now, and follow the conversation. And then there's this special group of folks who are willing to take it a whole nother step further and meet me in our Facebook group, Black Women in Finance and the Men Who Love Us. So we really are having a robust conversation about what is going on and what we have to do about it. What is the problem? What is the solution? Okay, what is the strategy? What is the strategy and how do we accomplish it? So we're going to talk about that today. I'm so happy that you're here. So you know the drill. Go get that blue pen and white paper and get ready to take copious notes, because you are about to get that healthy finances information you've been seeking. So while you're doing that, let me just say that I've been talking about the market melting down for a while now, and I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you what's happening, because I can see into the future, maybe, right? But I watch what's going on. And the other part of it is, whether the markets are in meltdown or not, the family finances in the 95% of the American population has been in meltdown for a long time, right? So some people are doing very well, and some people are doing not well at all, and there seems to be almost no place in the middle anymore. So if you find yourself in that place that's becoming an abyss, okay, a financial abyss, it's time to make a change in your life, in your attitude, in your mindset. It's time to embrace money and finance. And for a long time, we as spiritual healers and those of us who are have this concept that higher consciousness doesn't have anything to do with money, I'm here to tell you are sadly mistaken, because we're here in the material realm to master it. And money, the material part of it, we're here to master it. So let's talk about that, all right? I'm sure you're ready by now. You have your blue pen and your white paper, and I've got some notes here. And if you've been following this new broadcast about healthy finances, as I've transitioned and incorporated it into our whole Oneness Wellness Lifestyles, you can hear a thread of what it is I am leading you and guiding you to, right? You can begin to hear it. And what is that? What is that? I've been saying it the whole time right now. Healthy finances now. Having an abundant life in every area, every domain of your life, okay? So I'm inviting you to become a financial entrepreneur. I'm inviting you to become a cash flow entrepreneur. I'm inviting you to become a cash money accumulator, okay? How's that sound? Cash money accumulator. I'm inviting you to become a professional money educator, all right? So think about those things as we're having this conversation, all right? The other few things I'd like you to think about in terms of the thread is, do you know someone who could benefit from this information? And if so, and I know that you do, invite them to the conversation. Invite them to the conversation. With that, let me share with you that I am a licensed financial professional. Okay, I have the credentials to talk about this. And I have the ability to offer you a free service to help you get on track. To help you get on track. Go to @Healthy Finances Now and inbox me and say you want the free strategy session with me. And I'd be happy. We can do it. We can do it virtually. You can come to my offices in Uptown Charlotte and we can do it there. But the fact of the matter is we need to do it. Why? Because we need to address the problem. Okay, we need to find what your solution is, because everybody's solution is different. We're going to find what your solution is, put the strategy together to accomplish that solution. All right? So the invitation is open. The invitation is open. So let's talk about it. We get no financial information, no financial education in school. Only 4 states in the whole country have a requirement for 1 semester of personal finance in high school. Okay, just 1. And so we learn all this stuff, right? We learn all this information and we learn to repeat it so that we can pass these tests. And then we come out in the world with a piece of paper, and the thing that we use every single day, money, we have no education on, none. So we've been trained to be workers and not entrepreneurs or business owners, because you have to understand money to really do that in a responsible and healthy way. Or you've got to bring on a CFO, you got to bring on somebody who's licensed, who does understand that, but you have to first have the mindset to know how. So what does that do to families? What does that do to families? It's devastating. Just look around. Just look around. Now in your community, it may be gated and folks have all the things, right? And it looks real good. But what I have found in 20 years of being in this industry since 1998, that people are broke right up to their level of income. So you may have all the stuff, right? And feel like you have a good job, but you might be frustrated and dissatisfied in that quote unquote good job, and you get up every morning hating to go there, but you have to do it in order to make a living. So I know I'm giving you a broad picture, right? But I got to get everybody in this conversation. Everybody in this conversation. So if the folks who seemingly have it, right, are broke right up to their level of income, because most people are living 2.5 times above the amount of money they actually bring in. So that means that they're in debt. They're in debt, okay? So if everybody needs to be in this conversation, it's important that we all begin to come together on a platform, so we can have the conversation, right? So Black Women in Finance and the Men Who Love Us, and also at Healthy Finances Now on Facebook, all right? So let's pull this together. We don't get the education that we need, and we're not talking about it. We're not having a conversation. We're not willing to have somebody help us, all right? So in the context of that, we're going to continue with the show as it goes on. And so why am I laying it out like this? Why does it seem like I'm repeating myself? Because I really want to give you time in between my words and the thought forms that I'm giving you to write down what I'm saying as it resonates with you, and then also your own aha moments. Because I get that this ain't necessarily an easy conversation to have, okay? It's not necessarily an easy thing to talk about, because we've been not talking about it. And that's the habit, that we think that it is, it's my own personal business. I don't want nobody to know where I am with the money, and and the distrust that we have, right? And so you continue to run to the commercial banks, and they keep moving the cheese, right? And you haven't been able to figure it out yet. So the solutions and the strategies exist, and you can accomplish what you will with regard to your financial status, your money accumulation. And I'm going to talk to you about that as we continue with this conversation on today. So take good notes, listen real well, invite a friend, and stay tuned. I'll be right back after this important message to continue this conversation. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Happy Healthy Healing Day. I'm Shifa, the holistic healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, inviting you to watch the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show every first and third Saturday right here on Access 21 TV. What do we talk about? Everything from juicing to old school tonics and herbs, what you can do to help yourself get better. We talk about stop poisoning yourself by putting all those chemicals on your body, and all domains of life: healthy mind, body, family, finances, and community. So tune in to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show every first and third Saturday at 9 a.m. I look forward to serving you. Welcome back. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, and I'm Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. This is our Healthy Finances Now conversation, and I just want to thank you so much for being here. And I hope that you took the time to invite somebody else to watch with you, listen with you, as we dive into this conversation about money and how to get your money right. So I invited you to a few things in the last segment, and I want to break that out into how we think about it. Okay, how do we think about it? And I know that it's not an easy conversation to have, as I was saying in the last segment, but we got to have it, right? And it's kind of scary because it's territory that we really haven't launched into, and because we don't know, and more importantly, because we think we already know, we close the doors to what's possible and what's available. And I'm going to share with you that you have the capacity to even be a licensed professional. You have the capacity to do that, because it is the reason why it's not taught in school is because it's a technology. It is a vocation career, and so all you need is a license, right? You just have to go get certified, and it doesn't cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it. And the financial licensed professionals are some of the highest paid people on the planet, because the money is always moving. Whether it's moving up or whether it's moving down, somebody's getting paid in the middle, all right? And so the people that move the money are the ones. So why did I share that with you just now? Because you have the capacity. And so that may be way up here for some of you. And then I really put it in your consciousness so you can think about it, because that invitation is open to you as well. So first of all, let me give you permission to be passionate. It's okay to be passionate about growing your money. It's okay to be passionate about that. It's okay to accumulate large sums of money. All right, it's okay. And let that settle in. It really is all right. So whatever that conversation is that's going on, that chatter in the back of your mind that you've heard, like money doesn't grow on trees, and all the things that we have been exposed to growing up that have settled in our unconscious mind, that tells us that money is the root of all evil, and that the only people who have money, they must have done something either illegal or unethical to get it. Right? We Xing that out. No more. We're in a money revolution right now. And really, it is an evolution for us. It's an evolution for us. So let me ask you a couple questions. And please be honest. And I asked these questions before, and I probably will going forward, because they really are revealing, personally revealing. So what are the questions? So when you think about the future, when you think about money, when you think about your dreams and your goals, okay, what you want to have happen in the future, and the vacations, the education, the travel, the homes, the whatever it is, the I just want to be comfortable, right? Comfortable has a number. How much is that? And do you know what that number is? So when you think about your future moving forward, when you think about that, got that? Get some dreams and some goals in your mind. Visualize it, see it in living color, okay? Do you believe things will just work out, right? I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and things will just work out, and everything will be all right, okay? Is that your attitude? You just believe things will just work out? 2, or do you cross your fingers, right? Do you cross your fingers and just hope that nothing awful will happen, right? The reality is, number one, that life happens. Life happens. And as a result of life happening, we need to be properly protected. Properly protected for loss of income, for disability, and for death, okay? Because those are the stark realities of living, right? Like, not in a scary way, but just having to take a look at that, because in many people's lives, there's they say that at least 3 out of 10 people will have some kind of catastrophic either illness, right, chronic or critical, or terminal in their lifetime. So doesn't it make sense to prepare rather than just cross your fingers and just hope everything just works out all right and that nothing terrible is going to happen, right? How many of you have been in car accidents, right? And it was totally unexpected, right? Just one of those things. Life happens. So I pose that in terms of a question to you. What do you have in place? What do you have going on that's going to protect your future, right? This is dreams and goals. Where are you going? How are you mapping that out? And number 3, do you just wonder when your lucky break is going to come, right? So they just gave away $1 billion in lottery a couple days ago, right? $1 billion in lottery. Do you know the statistics are that people who win the lottery find themselves back where they were within 3 to 5 years? Yeah, because believe me, people coming after that money, all right? So, and they have no financial education to know even what to do with it, how to grow it, how to keep it, right? So for us, it's important that these dreams and our goals and the life that we know that's inside of us, the mission that we came to fulfill. We're not here just to work on somebody's job from the time we get old enough to the time we are too old. Come on, right? There has to be more, right? Is that one of the questions that you ask? There's got to be more to life than this, right? And so while you're making somebody else wealthy every single day, you're not giving any attention to what you got going on at all, right? Other than the fact that you go get a paycheck every week and you're living the life according to how the American dream or how everybody else is doing it, and this must be okay. Question yourself. Number one, what do I want? What are my desires, my goals, and my dreams? What is it? What is it? So, there's another way to look at the future that is a whole lot more powerful than just crossing your fingers, hoping nothing awful happens, and wondering when your lucky break is going to come, right? That's a really kind of powerless and pathetic place to be. And I say that because I want to wake you up. The market is crashing, okay? We're about to be in the next recession, right? The next recession is upon us. 300 million people have money in a 401k. Listen, 300 million people, every paycheck contribute money to 401ks that's in the market. And if you're not hearing what's really going on or paying attention, the same thing that happened in 2008, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you don't have any retirement left. The money that you thought you were saving for retirement, right? That the market losses and taxes just gone, right? You don't have enough. So what do you do? What do you do? So I'm giving you what the problems are. I said we're going to talk about the problems, right? The challenges, the problems, the solutions, the strategies, and the accomplishment. All right? You can get this done no matter how old you are, right? Okay? And no matter how young you are. Okay? So, predictability. So that's one thing we know we can't get with the market because it goes up and down. But there are solutions that are predictable. There are solutions that are predictable. But in order for you to get to those solutions, you first have to have the plan. You have to know where you want to go. And so I said that there is a free process that I can take you through that will step by step you into the strategy that's perfect for you and your family, that's perfect for you in your business, that's perfect for you as an entrepreneur in light of the overall environmental impact of this financial crisis that we find ourselves moving into or actually being in. All right? So, how about we take the reins of our own financial sovereignty? How about that? How about if we take the reins of that and say right now that I am healthy and wealthy and wise. I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. All right? That is the scope of abundance. That is the scope of abundance, and it's in every domain of your life. Right? So it's not just about money. Money is a means to an end. when we are setting our goals and we're taking the reins, what we're looking at is the end goal, not the means goal. The means is the money. The end goal is what is the thing, what is the experience, what is the environment, what is the lifestyle. That's the end goal, and that's the picture that we want to hold as we're moving through this. Because it is, make no mistake, a spiritual process. It is, make no mistake, a healing, a financial healing to get from here to get to there, from means goals to end goals. All right, so hold the picture of the end goal as we are talking about the strategy for your means goal. All right, in a climate where a financial revolution is going on. Financial revolution. There's fintech. Have you heard of that? Financial technology. You're using it every day. They're forcing us. There are people who say, well, I don't want to put my stuff on the internet. Too bad, too late. All right, it's already done. Right? All your information is already out there. Whether you think it is or not, or you think you put it there or not, it's already out there because the banks, the financial institutions have moved that way. So when I talk about this financial revolution, we've got to include that in terms of what your strategy is going forward. Listen up. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, and I'm your host, Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth, aka RJ Whitehurst, financial professional. We're talking about money. We'll be right back.
If you want to get a lot of people very angry at you, and you're in the health profession, it's fairly simple. Begin to cure incurable diseases.
It would ruin the economy. Billions of dollars.
Cancer is one of the richest multi-billion-dollar industries in the world, and every cancer patient is a commodity.
The huge pharmaceutical companies have everybody in their pocket, from the president on down to the senator's representative. Everybody gets paid.
Something's terribly wrong when you treat cancer and your hair falls out and you vomit. This is truly medieval.
People in the United States and developed countries who are treated for cancer don't even die of cancer. They die of the treatment of cancer.
Many years from now, people look back at this time and wonder what kind of Neanderthals we were.
A prophet many years ago, he said, "My people perish for lack of knowledge."
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're having a Healthy Finances Now conversation, and I've been laying it on you pretty thick, I know. This is incredibly, tremendously, terrifically important. You've got to get this part. We've done a lot of things in terms of progress in this country. The fact of the matter is, as long as there's one homeless person, one hungry person, that is still among us, we're all hungry and homeless, right? And so that is the concept of oneness. There's really only one thing happening. There's only one of us, one spirit. And when we begin to understand that, we can uplift everyone as we uplift ourselves. So it starts with self, and that's why we're having a financial conversation about where are you with your finances? Where are you with abundance? Where are you when it comes to having a prosperity consciousness? That's what we're going to talk about this segment. Your prosperity consciousness. That is the first strategy in getting your numbers right. You got to have a prosperity consciousness. You got to first believe that you can get to the end goal. And you have to know that just like healing exists, there is a plant on the planet for every disease that exists. I've been a natural healer for 45 years. The healing is available if you're willing to make yourself available to it, okay? Getting your finances in order is the same. All the tools are available, but you just have to make yourself available to them. Right now, we want to open doors where there are walls. Okay? You keep hitting the wall, Well, there's a door there, but without a prosperity consciousness, it won't appear to you. Right? So they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, right? Well, I'm opening some doors for you. All right? Prosperity consciousness. Well, what's the opposite of that? Right, poverty consciousness. Poverty consciousness. And that doesn't mean that you live in the ghetto or that you're not doing well. Poverty consciousness means that you can't get from from the plateau where you are to the next level. Right? It's just about where are you? And I already talked about it doesn't matter whether you feel like you have a lot of money or you feel like you don't have a lot of money. Okay? Because there are people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars that feel like they don't have enough. So I just want to make the conversation really plain, just really plain. All right. So the first strategy, then, if it is a prosperity consciousness, the first thing that you have to get, the first thing you want to really understand is that nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody's going to do it for you. So the hoping things are just going to work out and crossing your fingers and hoping that nothing awful happens, right? Or just waiting for your lucky break, right? Nobody's going to do it for you. You get to do it for yourself. And you're not going to pay me for it, okay? Let me just say that right off the bat. You're not going to pay me for it. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. And every dime that you put out is a contribution to your own growth toward your own end goals. How about that? How about that? Every single dime. Because, yes, it will cost you something. It will cost you something, all right? It is going to cost you in terms of education. It's going to cost you in terms of time. It's going to cost you in terms of commitment. It's going to cost you in terms of mindset. It's going to make you uncomfortable, mildly to moderately to significantly uncomfortable because it's not something you've done before. Okay? So if I'm saying that let's not spend over here and let's contribute over here, right? Contribute to you, not contribute to some outside thing. This is about you and your family, right? This is about you and your business. Let's take this, let's allocate some of this over here because we've got to get to a place called end goals in a financial meltdown and financial evolution or revolution, okay? So we as the people are going through an evolution. It's in consciousness. That's why that's the first strategy. As an industry, the financial sector is going through a revolution, okay? Got that? All right, so every single thing in the strategy is for you. Is for you, okay? So people ask, well, how do you get paid? Well, I represent other companies, right? So I'm a broker dealer. Let me just put it right out there. So the companies will take care of me. Don't worry, you don't have to worry about that. I have to take care of you, right? That's my mission, to make sure that you are where you need to be in your health, in your wealth, okay, in your mindset, in understanding the whole oneness of putting it all together in an abundant package, okay? You with me? So just take some notes there, right? And just kind of wave around a little bit, let you catch your thoughts, take a breath, right? So we do a webinar called Breathe Healthy Finances. Breathe Healthy Finances, okay? That's about meditation. That's about mindset. That's about a prosperity consciousness. So what is this what does this look like if you can do it by yourself? If you have to do it for yourself, right? You won't do it by yourself, but you have to do it for yourself. What does that look like? What does that look like? It first looks like education. Remember I said only 4 states in the whole country teach anything in one semester about money in just one semester in high school. So that means that they didn't teach us anything. And if you've been dependent on your bank to teach you financial literacy, or you've been depending on the credit card companies to do it, their whole existence is to make money on you. Okay? They're not your friends. Their whole thing is to keep you in debt, right? Credit cards, right? Keep you in debt. Even when you go to the credit counseling people, right? It's about paying back the credit. It's not about you. It's about getting your credit score so you can go spend more money, somebody else's money that you paying ridiculous amounts of interest for. And even if it's on a 0 interest rate for a certain amount of time, you still on somebody else's money, somebody else's. This you have to do for yourself. And that's the area of responsibility that I talked about earlier in our first segment, right? That's the area of responsibility. And that's about education. So in that nugget right there is the rule of 72. In that nugget right there, what the education is about, the power of compound interest is working against you. Working against you. So well, what is that? What is that? If you've never heard of it before, the rule of 72 is an Albert Einstein formulation that we could have learned in elementary school, quite frankly, right? Where you take the number 72 and you divide the amount of interest that you are either earning or paying, and it will tell you how long it takes the money to double, whether that's the money you're paying in interest or the money that you're growing in accumulation. Say accumulation, that part's for you. The money that you're paying on principal is going to somebody else. This is about you, okay? This is about you. So when you divide that number into the interest rate into the number 72 to tell you how long it takes your money to double, right? That's useful information. We could have learned that. Short division, we could have learned that in elementary school, but they didn't teach us that then, all right? So now that you know that, check your credit card rates and balances and see how long it's going to take you to get out of debt at 20%, at 26%, right? At 12%. All right, how long is it going to take you to get out of debt? How many years does it take for that money to double? And if you only pay the minimum on your credit card, you never get out of debt. It's designed that way. That's why I said the banks and the credit card companies are not there to educate you. That's your responsibility. That's your responsibility. I'm here to help you with that. That's why I just gave you the 8th wonder of the world, the power of compound interest, the rule of 72, brought to us by the genius Albert Einstein, right? So in this evolutionary movement, it means the difference between your end goals and your mean goals, okay? I keep saying that because it's so important that in a prosperity consciousness that you focus on your end goal, not focus on the money. And our whole life has been about focusing on the money. We get up every single day and go somewhere because we have to make money in order to live in the society that's created the way that it is, right? So when you change that focus to your end goals, you actually move your energy, okay? And the reason I'm looking over there because there's a light over there. And your end goals represent the light of where you're going. Light of where you're going. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's that we have to lay the tracks to get there. And that's what I'm here to help us do. And it starts with our what? The first strategy is prosperity consciousness over a poverty consciousness. And it is the ability to live the lifestyle that you desire. So I talked about 300 million people who are every single pay period sending money, putting money in their 401k, right? putting money in their 401k. Why? Because that's the vehicle that they've told us was going to help us to get to a retirement. When the fact of the matter is, most people use their 401k as an emergency fund. Something happens, they draw the money out of their 401k, they go ahead and pay the taxes. It's supposed to be as a tax deferred, right? Because money goes in untaxed. And when you pull it out, you pay the tax and the penalty if you're not 59 and a half yet, okay? So if that is indeed what's occurring, and there are 300 million people who are participating in that, what is the outcome? The outcome is that the end goals never get reached. So the strategy of the prosperity mindset, the strategy of focusing on the end goals, and the strategy of educating yourself, right? You getting educated, and that can't happen on Google. Google ain't God, okay? That can't happen on Google, all right? Because the information that you really need to know is not available to you without a license, and you have to have some professional money management guidance. A coach, hello. All right. Stay tuned, we're almost done. You're watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show, and I'm your host, Shifa, aka RJ Whitehurst, financial professional, a licensed credentials, right? We'll be right back. Hey there, this is Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Mother Earth. Happy, healthy, and healing day. I just wanted to come and give you a few tips. You know, one of the things we like to do is add more value, right? And so here's some tips on the ecosystem of success. The ecosystem of success. How do you create an ecosystem of success? So first of all, we have to realize that growing up, we had different experiences that shaped who we are. They say that by the time it is that we're 7 years old, we have already shaped who it is that we are in our mindset. It's already been taught to us. So since that is the case, we have received encouragement, right? Encouragement. We have also received support and also challenge. So whatever our life has looked like over the years, maybe you don't feel like you were supported, or maybe you don't do well with challenges, right? Or maybe it is that your encouragement was not as great as it could have been. Well, whatever that is, you are in your present right here, right now, and you can change your life. That's the exciting part. You can change starting right now, and it's just a matter of a decision. Right? So you are one decision away. And so what does that look like? So support is your resources. Look at what your resources are. Where are you being loved and nurtured? Who's doing that? And give into those relationships. And next is encouragement. Being acknowledged and being seen. How encouraged are you being on your job or in your family? Right? Look for those encouragement. We're talking about how to have and recognize your ecosystem or your ecosystem for success. And next is challenge, right? Challenge. Do you have a lack of resources? What do you have to overcome? What is it that you want to bring into your life? So look at how you're showing up in the world based on the environment that you grew up in. Right? Whether that's a mix of support, encouragement, and challenge, and make sure that in all three of these areas that you develop your own life. Alternatively, surround yourself with people who fill in the gaps. So if you don't feel like you have enough support, surround yourself with people who support you. Surround yourself with people who encourage you, and surround yourself with people, yes, who challenge you. Okay? And this is how you create the ecosystem for success. It's about being holistic. It's about being whole. This is the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. And I'm Shifa, and I want to just bring you that tip on how to create an ecosystem for success. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. We're having our Healthy Finances Now conversation. You can join the conversation at Black Women in Finance and the Men Who Love Us, and also at Healthy Finances Now on Facebook, the @ Healthy Finances Now on Facebook. So let's wrap this up for today. We're not getting it all in today. You really want to contact me. You really want to reach out to me on Facebook so we can extend the conversation to how we look at your own financial situation, right? It's personal, right? What's the financial problem? What is the solution, right? What's the strategy, and how do you accomplish it? That's what this whole conversation is about. We've talked about mindset. We've talked about the millions of people who are contributing to their 401ks and the dismal results that is getting. We talked about how the market is melting down as we speak on this day. This is October 30th, 2018. And we talked about what it is we need to do to get there. And I've been saying it's about education. And I gave you the rule of 72, all right? So we've covered a lot of ground, and I want to now just kind of wrap this up. And this might sting a little bit. This might sting a little bit. Why? Because we used to sports and entertainment, right? We want somebody dancing and singing and playing with some size ball, right? That's what we want to do. We want to go to the movies. We want to do everything else that's a distraction from us having to deal with our own financial situation, right? That we know in our heart of hearts we are not satisfied with. Okay? All right. So, end goal, leaving a financial legacy. Leaving a financial legacy, right? What does that mean? That not only means money, right? We know that abundance is not just money. A financial legacy means that education. Who's going to teach your children and your children's children about how money really works? Who's going to teach that to them if you don't know and you're not taking the responsibility to learn that? I gave you the rule of 72 so you have a baseline to start from, all right? And there are many financial concepts that are just basic, just like that, easy to understand, right? What's hard to understand about dividing your interest rate into the number 72, right? That's short division, easy stuff, all right? So, generationally, right now, we get to break the generational mindset, the generational consciousness of what we have inherited. Okay? Generationally, we're in the situation that we're in because generationally it has been missing. We haven't had the information. Now, generationally, from boomers to Gen Xers to millennials to the yet unborn, we get to shift. This is the evolution. We get to shift and up-level our consciousness and how we operate, getting to the accomplishment of a financial legacy. That means abundance. Okay? So, why is that important? Because if that doesn't happen, what are the consequences? Just think about that. If we don't get this financial piece right, what are the consequences? Do you notice that more and more people are homeless in the street? And you see them everywhere. I know I'm not the only one, right? People are struggling, right? One paycheck away. So is that how you want to continue? And if that's what it is now, and the markets are melting, right? The financial markets are melting and shifting. We're moving into cryptocurrency. We're moving into what's called fintech, where finances are moving to a virtual platform. Okay? A virtual platform. And let me just add this in here. a dollar is only worth about 87 cents right now. So it looks like a dollar, but it's really only change. So you see how deflated the money system is as this revolution that's happening, this financial revolution is taking place right under your nose. Okay? So what happens if we don't get this right? We have to ask ourselves, when would now be a good time to take responsibility for every child that's born and not have them born into ground zero financially, right? When would be a good time? Or are we willing to continue to have every child that we birth, the men that we love, the work that we do, everything that we work so hard for, just squandered away, right? That's what the distractions are for you to just squander it away. And it all gets squandered into the 5%. The 95 got it, and it's squandering away into the 95%. Okay? So when would be a good time to stop that? How about now? Healthy finances now. All right? So my attitude is the buck stops here. Okay? That's my attitude. The buck stops here. That's why help black women in finance and the men who love us was put together in the first place. So we can begin to have this conversation, continue. Because we're not just starting. There are many of us who get it, right? There are many of us who are licensed professionals. There are many of us who have some understanding, but we're not sharing the understanding. We're not helping other people. We need way more people licensed, in order to get the information. So why do I keep stressing that? Because there are laws on the books that say if you don't make a certain amount of money, that there's a suitability profile of information that you can't get. That's why I said you can't get it on Google. Investopedia isn't going to give it to you, right? It'll give you definitions, but it's not going to give you strategy. It's not going to help you accomplish it. So how do you do that? You get the information for yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. You get licensed. You get in contact with me. Healthy Finances Now on Facebook. Black Women in Finance and the Men Who Love Us. There's a Facebook group. Okay? Get in touch with me. I would give out phone numbers, but they tend to change, right? They tend to change. So just follow me on Facebook. When we are having this kind of conversation, it is imperative that we come to an agreement inside ourselves, okay? We come to an agreement inside of ourselves that says, I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. I am healthy, wealthy, and wise, okay? I am healthy, wealthy, and wise in every domain of our lives, in every domain. So, as we are processing this information, and I know that I share a lot with you, and the conversation is designed to be thought-provoking. Okay, I want to influence you and provoke you to do something different. I want to provoke you and influence you to embrace financial literacy. Okay, and I know that's a buzz term that's just floating all around, and everybody has a different definition of what that is. Financial literacy is when you know the information that gets you from where you are to a plan of action, okay? That you understand what the problem is, you have a plan, you have a strategy to implement that plan, okay? So that we get to the problem, the strategy, right? Because in that we find the solution, we create the strategy, and then we have the accomplishment. Financial literacy is to get you to accomplish some things for yourself in reaching your end goals, whether that is your retirement, your children's education, your travel, your vacations, your comfort in your home, whether that is being a contribution to a good cause, making sure your faith is funded, okay, in terms of where it is that you worship, whatever that means for you, what the end goal is. And so we can stop the chit chat, right? This is a conversation of substance and getting to what it is that needs to happen. All right? So we can stop the chit chat and the begging and the dancing around the conversation. Okay? We got to have it. So I said this was going to sting a little bit, and maybe it does, and maybe it doesn't, but if you are really taking this to heart, it does. It does. So with your blue pen and your white paper, write down that I am healthy, wealthy, and wise in every domain of my life, and that abundance is my birthright, and the natural, okay, way of the universe is abundance, okay? Abundance. And you get to have it in every domain of your life. We're talking about money. As a natural healer, I've talked to you and talked to you and talked to you. You can look at my other shows. I've talked to you about health and healing. I've talked to you about herbs and foods and essential oils and all those things that help us to turn back the clock in terms of aging, help us keep our body fit. Now I'm talking to you about spiritual fitness in the domain of your healthy finances. All right? So the Oneness Wellness Lifestyles crew, we are dedicated to you, to your healthy spirit, mind, body, family, finance, your character and career, your parenting and relationships, all of that and so much more in the domains of life that are oneness, I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, Shifa, and you've been watching the Oneness Wellness Lifestyle Show. Follow us at Healthy Finances Now on Facebook, and I look forward to continuing this conversation with you.